Hey, Randall here. I don't do this often. I'm going to start trying to do a little bit more. This is sort of my, sorry, I'm bad at framing this stuff with a phone. This is sort of my process I do when I first see a listing, a new listing, or any property that I go to. This is sort of what I do. I wanted to give you guys a rundown. This is 1108 Sim Street. It'll be on the market soon. Actually, probably the next couple days. So I just want to give you a quick rundown of what I look at, what I look for, and how I sort of scope out a property to figure out, okay, is this going to be good for a potential investor? Sorry, it's getting a little bit bright now. Okay, so first I'm going to do a quick rundown of the exterior. There I am in the window. You can sort of see me waving. Sorry, I got my, this is casual Friday, right? So first thing's the roof. The roof, I know you see a couple rough patches here. In general, looks pretty good. It's a, 25-year roof on it. I'm looking over here. It's got some leaves collecting. That's nothing major. Sorry if the sun's in the way. If you see it, there's a patch there. On the outside in general, though, looks like this is on a slab. Incredibly unusual for Orange Mound, which is where we're at today. So sorry if I'm a little bit slow. Got some wrought iron. Luckily no bars on the windows. Newer windows, which is always good. This part seems to be raised up. So we're going to see if we find an entry for a conventional crawl space. And that's going to tell us if we have a hybrid foundation. In the backyard, it's a little overgrown. Nothing major. I'm not crying about it. So yes, it looks like we do have a hybrid foundation. So nothing too unusual there for this area. Again, a lot of people sort of freak out when they see conventional. We're going to check out and see if there's any soft spots in the floor in there. There's the AC unit. It's caged. Not super common anymore. This is definitely a holdover from days gone by. You can tell it's an older cage. Even these wounds on it are a little older. But in general, the back's fine. This is composition siding. It looks like it's in pretty good shape. It's been painted a couple times, which is helping a little bit. There we have some damage. It's not too bad. We're going to check the inside out here in a second. This is one the tenant just left, so once we get inside, we'll sort of check it out. But overall, got a big field back here. You're on a somewhat major street, not too major. It's not going to bother any of the tenants. It's Sims Street, so it's got lights, not stop signs. But that's another thing I like to think about a little bit. It's how easy is it to access other major roads? And here it's pretty simple and straightforward, so that's always a good thing for tenants. So now we're going to step inside. Apologies for the leaves. They just started shedding here in the last couple of weeks, so no one's had a chance to deal with them yet. But now we're going to step inside. I like the outside. You got the pillars. They're all pretty solid. They are structural. They are holding up this front porch hanging. And they all look like they're in pretty good shape. And again, on the side, nothing major to report here. So we know it has central air. Let's go check it out on the inside and see what's going on. Oh, so this is an unusual one. Sorry if there's a little bit of an echo, but I'm going to try to take it as quickly and easily as I can, but still give you some info. So I walk in and immediately I notice we have recessed lighting, raised ceiling, really nice little archway there, huge living room. It's got pretty bulletproof flooring here. This tile should never really worry about cracking or breaking, at least not anytime soon. Again, you're going to see some issues. The tenant just left. He's not going to do any work before he lists it. He wants to have some value add proposition there for any potential buyer. So we're just going to immediately go in here. And this is the first bedroom. Or, yes, so this would be the primary because it does have its own bath by the looks of it. It's a pretty big bath, actually. There I am again, sorry. Try to keep my face out of here too much. But it's all fairly decent. I mean, it's in pretty good shape. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, but it's in good shape. Again, you've got a nice little closet there. So this is exactly the type of stuff that tenants love to see, especially in this area. This is a nicer house than what you would typically get in this area. And that's good because this area just recently started getting nicer. So let me hobble over here. And this is going to be your dining area. It's huge for a house here. I mean, absolutely massive. You've got a cool little cutout there for, I don't know what use that'll serve, but in any case, you got a nice little window. And again, you have vaulted ceilings in here. It's very unusual. This house could actually probably go owner-occupant as a good exit strategy. I'm trying to turn some lights on as I go. Let's see. Oh, look at that. We got more recessed lighting. This is, again, very unusual for here. I'm shocked I'm seeing it. Everything looks like it was updated probably in the last 10 years or so. There's your spot for the dishwasher, and there's your washer and dryer connection, sort of in the kitchen, not too unusual. Oh no, that's your fridge and stove. I'm sorry, I'm crazy because here you have a separate washer and dryer hookup in the closet, and you've got a water tank. So the one thing I look at is how old's the water tank? What kind is it? Here it's gas. It's a little older. Looks like it was permitted or winterized in 16. And then I like to look at these. Take photos of them. That'll give you a little bit more info on when it was built and stuff like that. So it's just a standard 40 gallon. You got your washer hookups there. You have a light in here, of course, and pretty huge kitchen for here. Sorry about the graffiti again. You give a kid a marker, they're gonna find a way to mess the wall up. So now in here, this is the back portion. This is the, I think, an add-on, and this was the add-on that, it may not be an add-on, we're gonna have to double check, but if it is, it's an older one, and this is the one that's on the conventional. So here we have hardwood, and everything in here looks fine so far. You have a different type of ceiling here than you do in the front of house, so that could be an indicator that it's an add-on. But just browse around, everything looks pretty solid. Again, this just needs some cosmetic repairs. I mean, it's essentially good to go after some cleanup and some paint. I'm not seeing anything here that would scare a tenant off. Again, bathrooms are pretty nice. So this is a big 3-2 for this area. Houses typically will come in at 1,000 square feet or so in Orange Mound, and there'll be 2-1s, maybe 3-1s if you're lucky. Here, it looks like both of the bathrooms have been pretty well updated at some point. Tenant updates, right? You just want them to be bulletproof. Here, you're probably going to have to refinish the hardwood. It looks like they were a little rough on it. You have an old patch here. It could be from an old heater, I'm not really sure. You don't know what you're gonna find in some of these older houses. Especially like this. It's not ugly enough to be a Franken house, but it's pretty close. So that's about it. This is about all I'm gonna look at for now. If my leg was in better shape, I always go in the attic to double check some stuff. But this one has big steel stairs, and I'm gonna guess that's where the furnace is. Usually if you have central heat or air, you'll have central heat. So typically I would go up in there to sort of check it out. I think I see the furnace duct there, so I'm pretty sure we have central heat. Ooh, it's a loud one. So overall, this one's in great shape. I'm pretty excited about this one. I think this would be a killer value add potential, and it would have pretty good returns on cash flow. You're talking about maybe all in for 100 or less, and then you're gonna be renting it for about, I'd say you could rent this place for about 1,100, or maybe, it's probably about right for the area. Maybe a little bit more, but that's 1,100 in this area is really high. And you should have pretty solid tenants. You look here, these tenants left it in okay shape, believe it or not. I usually see much, much worse than this. So a couple holes, couple scribbles on the wall, but no major defects. So this is one I'm pretty excited about. And I just wanted to give you an inside look on sort of what I look at and how I evaluate properties. But this one, yeah, it's got some cosmetic issues. That's nothing. I mean, it's got newer windows. It's got really funky layout, big rooms, awesome stuff. I like it. I'm excited to get this one listed and shown off to you guys a little bit early.